father was at work that time.
Mm.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining again. We so much appreciate you. Thank you. We are back again for joining. Thank you so much. We say thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Please invite your loved one. We are back again. As you all know, Save Man, we are supporting families. We do not just support alone, but we also educate. We educate family. It is about protecting and safeguarding our children. Protecting and safeguarding our children. Those of you on YouTube, apology for starting late. Apology for starting late. Please invite your loved one. If you have not subscribed, kindly subscribe now. Kindly subscribe now. Kindly subscribe now. And invite your loved one. Tell them we are back again. Tell them we are back again. Together, we are stronger. We are stronger. Together, we are stronger. Please subscribe, share with your loved one, put your comment, leave your comment there now. Start asking your question now. Start asking your question now. Our guest is here. Start asking your question. Put your question on YouTube. Put your question down. Put your question down. We are here again. We are here again. It's about empowering our community. About empowering our community. Empowering our community. Apology for starting late. Apologies for starting late, everyone. We know you have been waiting. So sorry. It's due to some unforeseen circumstances. We can't wait to hear today's story. This is one of the interesting stories that started when we started this matter, particularly here in Middlesbrough. We've told you things have started changing now. There's a lot of improvement now. However, there are still more children being taken into care. That is why we said family needs to come together. Please share this with your loved one. We are waiting for more people to join on YouTube. We are waiting for more people to join. Once we have more people now, we are going to start. We are waiting for more people. We say thank you to all our families, especially family that are coming back to share their testimony. We do appreciate. We know it's not easy. It's not easy. We know that it's not easy. But we need to continue to educate our community, creating awareness and empowering families in order to improve the understanding of the UK child protection and safeguarding policy. Is very, very important. We need to improve knowledge. People need to be aware of the law of the land. And why would social worker get involved in your children's life, in your family's life? It is essential because there's need for everyone to safeguard and protect children. They are vulnerable. So we need to do that. So please leave your comment. We are going to start. First of all, we want to start with those people on YouTube. Let's see any question you've got. Thank you. I'm just here to hear a story. You are going to hear the story. You can't afford to miss this, and we don't want you to hear it alone. We want you to pick a lesson out of that and also share with your loved one. Leave your comments. So without wasting much of our time, let me bring our guest on to start, to tell us how her experience was and whether she has already heard about issue of child protection and safeguarding, and about issue of children taken into care, and about why would local authority get involved. From Middlesbrough, madam, can you start? Tell us your experience about UK children's social care. And I remember was the involvement of police as well.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. My case happened in 2021. If I could remember, I came in 2020, late 2020. So during COVID, there was lockdown, right? So children couldn't go to school. So they resumed school, I think, in January 2021. So the first week of school, he went to school, like the third day, it happened on the Thursday, yeah. He went to school neatly dressed and dressed. So I went to pick him up. He looked so very dirty and rough. So as a Nigerian mom, I just scolded him like, don't do this again. You look very dirty and so rough. White uniform turned to brown or black. I don't like this. Don't do this again. And that was all. I didn't scold him. I didn't touch him. I didn't beat him. So the following day on Friday, I was at home. I was doing online class then because I came through study visa. My husband was at work. My husband just called me around 12 that some people are in front of my house. Two social worker and the policeman, that they want to see me. Meanwhile, I have a second child, a girl. So I should go and open the door. My husband was really scared. I locked out of the system because I was in online class then. So I went downstairs to open the door for them. I saw two police women and two social worker and a policeman. They said, am I so person? I said, yes. Am I the mother of so in so school? I said, yes. They said they are here to take my second child. Just like that. I was like, no, what happened? They said my my son made a disclosure that I used to beat him. I used to slap him. I used to shout at him. So many things they said. And they are here to collect my second baby. I was so scared. I quickly ran upstairs, took my wrapper, back my baby instantly, like, this girl, you are not taking my child away from me. And the one in school, you cannot take my son. I started crying. They were like, no, madam, take it easy. I said, I won't take anything easy. They said, yeah, because my son made a disclosure that I used to beat him. I used to slap him, that he dirtied the uniform yesterday, and I scolded, I shouted, I beat. I said, no, I did not beat him. Why will you take what my son said against me? That they said they've already had a meeting. That same day, the school called them, they had a meeting, they moved my meeting from one section to another section. And I think the reason why they came to my house is to take the second child away from me. They've already have the plan of taking my first child from school, and they came home to take my second baby. So I don't have the second baby with me, they would have taken my only son away. So they came home that day purposely to take my second child away from me. So I said no. So the policeman later tried to calm me down. They entered the house. They said I should tell them what happened. I told them everything that happened, that this boy was I didn't even shout at him. I only warned him not to dirty his uniform, stop playing rough at school. And that was it. And they said, the reason why they are here is to take my second child. I said, no, you can't take my child. So they left. They said they will come back again around 4 o'clock. When the school closed, around 4, that they will be back again. So I went to pick up my son. Before they came back, I started making calls. Fortunately for me, somebody introduced me to Mr. Ola that same day. So I called Mr. Ola. God so good, we live very close to each other. I explained everything to him. He calmed me down. He said I shouldn't worry, that's how they behave and the rest, blah, blah, blah. So that I should welcome them whenever they are in. So like they said they will come back around 4. They came back again. Meanwhile, the first time they came, I explained everything to the policeman. The policeman was like, no, this is just a simple case, that he shouldn't be here. The policeman left. But these social workers, they insisted on coming back. They insisted on taking my second child away, as well as taking my first child. Because of what? Because I told my son not to play. So when I got to school to pick up my son, I asked the teacher, what happened? The teacher said, my son said, because he's not playing. I asked her what happened. She asked my son, why is he not playing? My son said, because my mommy said, if I dirty my uniform, she will beat me. I said, that's a Nigerian boy. I only warned him yesterday not to dirty his uniform, not that he shouldn't play. He can play, but do not dirty your uniform. That was my warning. So the social worker came, like they said, around 4 o'clock. He started interrogating, questioning, so many lies that my son said. I used to tell him to kneel down, raise up his hand. I said, no, I'm a Muslim, and that's how I pray. I kneel down, I close my eyes and pray. That's the way we pray, because I'm a Muslim. They said so many things. So I contacted Mr. Ola. He came, he talked to them, he did so many things, but it was very traumatic. This thing I'm saying as if it's nothing. It was very traumatic. So that was on a Friday. Everything happened suddenly on a Friday. So on a Monday again, they started coming back. And then we came during COVID 2020. There was no job, nothing. They were giving excuses that, okay, what do I use to keep these children busy at home? No TV. I said, of course, there is no TV. I came 3 months ago. I have no job. I'm a student. My husband is still hustling. How on earth do you want me to get money to buy TV? How on earth do you want me to get money to buy phone or to buy toys for them? Like, these things are senseless things you are mentioning. So they said no, they have to take the boy. So Mr. Ola stepped in. He stopped them from taking the boy away. He stopped them from taking the girl too, the little girl too, that was back in then. He stopped them. Then they started coming to my house every day, insisting they have to take my son to, what do they call it, child, whatever. That they've put my case onto section. Mr. Ola reminded me that the section something. That section is to take my child away from me totally. So we started writing, Mr. Ola started writing mail to the council, to the mayor. He copied everybody that this type of a thing, you don't need to put these people in a traumatized state. They are just coming. This is a new system. They are new to the system. You are meant to put them through. And what happened was just, don't dirty your uniform. Don't play rough again for you to dirty your uniform. And that was the only thing I said. I did not even beat my son. So why would you use that against my son? So they started coming again, going back and forth. And if I tell you that thing was, in fact, the following week, I've told my husband to book a flight ticket that we are going back to Nigeria, because I can't come to this country for you people to take my son away from me. It can never be done. I would rather go back home. So Mr. Ola said, no, we should take it easy, that you understand what we are passing through and the rest. And he stepped in. We started sending mail. He did everything for me, basically. He did every damn thing for me. So at the final stage, they sent us a report. And people, if you see that report, like 40-something pages of lies against me, what I did not do. But before then, they checked my sons. They took him to the hospital. They came home. They won't even tell you they are coming. They just come in, open your fridge, check what you are feeding the children with, check their rooms. They are just looking for so many things, so many reasons and excuse to take that child away from you. They will tell you this boy has so thing. This boy is not being fed well. Like, so many unreasonable things to say. So at the end of the day, as God will have it, Mr. Ola stepped in. He really dragged it with them, because then we already booked a flight ticket though, that next week I'm going back home. I'd rather fulfill my education than you taking my child away from me. I came like less than 3 months ago. You people are ready to take my child from me. It can never be done. It can't happen. So Mr. Ola stepped in. He did everything, sent mail, sent everything, various evidences, no mark on the child, no bruises, no stain, nothing. So why would you take such child away from the parents? So they later sent like the copies of my report to me, like 40-something pages, lies upon lies, because I'm a black, because my skin color, because this, because of that. And God so good, everything died down. They later said there is no case there. And that was how everything ended. So that's it, Mr. Ola.
Thank you very much. Before that day, have you ever had something like this from anybody before? And after then, have you had any similar cases? Have you heard about similar cases?
A lot. I even have a friend then that they took the child for like 6 or 7 months. They took the two child away from her. The two children away from her, rather. A lot of cases then.
Thank you very much. Please, those of you on YouTube, please put your comment. This is why we need to let family knows. It's about educating, enlightening family. Somebody is saying, what is the Nigerian government role in all this? These are the area we are looking at the moment. There was a case in Sheffield that we reached out to the Nigeria embassy. They acknowledge the emails. However, recently they have also written a letter. Hopefully there will be a conversation shortly, but we don't know in what capacity and what they'll be able to, because we need to start educating our family even before they migrate to this country. At the point of making application, at the point of anybody going for passport, anybody going to the embassy, they need to start enlightening people, they need to start enlightening families. May God bless you for the good work. Thank you so much. Please share this with your loved one. And if you want us to talk about your area, please feel free to put your comment there. Area you want us to talk about. We are kind of looking at our comment to see which area we can talk about. Oh, you are not alone in this journey. You can hear you are not alone in this journey. but you need to speak out. You need to speak out. You need to speak out. The earlier, the better you speak out, because we need to kind of enlighten families. And our platform is about educating parents, enlighten families, because this is the time we need to improve communication with our children. We need to prioritize their needs. We all came here to better our lives, particularly, in particular, to make sure the children have a better start, in life. And then we have to prioritize these children. We need to prioritize them. Please leave your comment, leave your question. We are waiting for those of you on YouTube. If you've got any question, 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 if you've got any question. I think they talk about going to charity to look for some things for the family. Was that right? Because we know they've got budget for this. They've got budget to support families. You can see any child taken away costing government 63,000 pounds per week. How on earth will now be looking on charity that's what fit for the family at that moment? So if you want to say in a way, how does that involvement affect your study? Because I could remember you're supposed to have you said you were on online course that moment.
Yes.
Were you able to continue your study, and did you reach out to the university to see whether you can seek any support, get any support?
Mr. It was very traumatic. I was traumatized. I had a presentation, I had an assessment, then I couldn't do it. I had to make my lecturer then that my mental health is at stake. I can't even concentrate. We are talking about a child. Like, I left my country barely 3 months ago, and I came inside UK during lockdown, no job, nothing. I'm even doing online class, no physical class. And you are here to take my child away from me. Over what? So I had to mail the school that I can't participate right now. They thought it was about COVID. School during COVID now. They thought it was all about COVID. They didn't know it was about my child care or anything. They thought it was maybe I was having COVID and I was down. I was breaking down or something. So I couldn't participate in class. I remember I had an assessment then. I couldn't do it. Because this thing we are talking about ended it took like a 4 or 5 weeks before everything was sorted. If not because of God and you, Mr. Ola would have been back to Nigeria by now. Since then, since 2021, I will be back. Because I won't allow them to take my child. I would rather go back home. So it was because of God and it was you. Huh?
Probably this person joined late. Someone was asking questions. And I know we are very sorry for those of you that you have been waiting for us. It's one of the people that have been waiting for us since 5 o'clock, but due to unforeseen circumstances, we started late. Apology for that. The person is asking, how many months were the kids taking for? They probably thought they were eventually taken. If you seek support on time, your children might not be taken away from you, because immediately when the school involved, when the disclosure was made, they reached out to the social care, and on their way to the house, that was when I think a day after, she called. So they have not been able to take the children at that point. So they couldn't take the children at that point because obviously the police have said no further action. However, even if police say no further action, remember, social care work under probability. That child might likely or future harm. These are the bases they use to take, they can consider to protect a child or safeguarding a child on probability of likely harm or future harm. These are the terms they normally use. So these are the terms they normally use. So if you've still got any question, please let's know. And don't forget, if you want us to talk about your local authority, please come on, let us know. It's time for you to tell us which local authority you want us to talk about next. Which local authority you want us to talk about next? Which local authority you want us to talk about next? Which local authority you want us to talk about next? Let us know which local you want us to talk about next. Which local authority you want us to talk about next? Let us know.
Hello, Mr. Ola.
Yes, I know there was a network break there over there. So yes, the person was asking. I think you have left that time. How many months
Okay.
were they taking from you? So I've answered them because you speak on time. You speak out on time.
Yes. Yes, I
Or, you,
spoke out on time. Yeah.
or is there anything you want to add to that? And I think that time, because the first case was brought to us in
Okay.
2019 February, and that time was so rapid. They took a lot. I think they've got about 715 children in care that time. And as far as we know, with the help of the work God make us to do, the function have reduced now. It has reduced because the Ofsted reports rate them inadequate at that time. Ofsted even rated them inadequate at that time. And I think couple of weeks to that, we've got another of your friend that they're about to the same allegations my child said, the child said this, the child said that, also happened in another school like that.
Yeah, she's even here with me. Will I give the phone to her?
Yeah, if she wants to share experience, I think we are doing 2-1 today. People are blessed.
Yeah,
People
she's
are
there.
blessed. 2-1. It's the same Middlesbrough we are talking about. We've got another family. You can see it's 2-1. Please hand over to her. Thank you so
Okay.
much. So we don't mention name. Please don't mention name. Don't mention your name. Don't mention the name of the children. Don't mention the name of the social worker. But you can mention the area we are talking about. We are still in Middlesbrough. Those of you on YouTube, if you've got another question, this is another family coming on board. 2-in-1 today. Wow, 2-in-1. Please on YouTube, share. You can share as much as possible. Please share and don't forget to subscribe. Go ahead. Second
Hello,
family.
hello, good evening.
Good evening, madam.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Tell us your experience.
Yeah, it was after about 3 weeks after my friend that I was actually in a house when I got the call to uh to come over to my children's school and that I'm not going to I was like, why will I come over? What's the problem? Because it was about their closing time. But they said, well, they might not be able to release them and I have to come over. I don't know. She was making my hair. I just ran because I've heard her experience and I was involved then. So I just went to their store. And when I got there, they just, I think I called you and you said, oh, you'll meet me up in 1 hour. I should just keep going. So I went to their store. And when I got there, they said, well, I can't see the children. And that because I make inquiry, what happened? They said they make a disclosure. My daughter make a disclosure then that so they can't say anything. Okay, after some time, that was when you came and they took us um to their is it office or boardroom and they said, oh, your daughter said so. What happened back home? I'm like, what do you mean what happened back home? I was very vocal and because I've I've heard about the situation and because my friend was also involved in that situation with her child. So I was bold enough to speak and ask them some questions and told them that, well, back home where I'm coming from, you're talking about is not a bad place to start with. And you can see my children are comfortable. They don't look like they are hungry or they're not well taken care of. So what do you mean by that? And they said, oh, your daughter said so about she disclosed that she like, it was not even clear what they were saying, but I told them I understand what they asked actually if I was spanking. At that time I was not even I couldn't think straight. They said chastising. Chastising. You that was my first time of hearing that word. And I remember I asked you, Mr. Ola, what are they talking about? And you said, oh, that maybe use maybe belt or something to hit the child to a bit. And I told them, yes, I'm an African parent, and back home, that's our style of training and correcting children. Of training children. But as times goes on, I've read and I've improved, and I now know better that I have not done anything like that since I came into this country. I understand the law. I understand that that's not a way to go about parenting. And they asked, oh, that's a good one. So what do you do when you are trying to correct your child, or when your child does anything wrong? And I said to them that day that, well, I listen to them, I correct them by taking things that they like away, maybe their phones or iPad, or deprive them from watching TV. And they said, oh, that's the best way. But because of whatever the child has said, they said, well, I was lucky because I was bold enough to speak out and clear them, to let them know that I'm educated. What you're talking about, I know, but I've not done anything wrong on your soil. Back home in my country, yes, I've done that and I've changed. But it's not like I used maybe belt or used something hard on my child, you know. So they said, well, they can release the children, but they will not allow me in the children's space at home without their father or their auntie. I wasn't even thinking. What I just know is that I'm going home with my children. So that's the first thing that came to mind, that at least I'm going home with them. Even say I can't stay in the same room with them, or I can't be in the same space with them. And they said I can't pick them up except their auntie then. And I said, okay, no problem. So when we were going, they saw the children. When they released the children, because this is about 2 hours of them detaining the children, asking them series of questions, and I can imagine. And so they just the children ran to me, they were so happy, they hugged me and all that. It was later on that when I was reading the reports, over 26 pages.
Mine was 40.
26 pages. So from the time I entered that place, everything I said was documented. The way the children reacted to me was documented. And that was one of the reasons why they left me, because they actually involved a nurse. When the nurse saw my children, the nurse said, well, these children are healthy. I don't have any business with them. They don't look like something's wrong with them. And the nurse said, well, I'm antsy off, and he left. So we were like that on and on and on. But there are like 2 different occurrences that has happened in the school that I've called the school previously to report to them that this is happening. You guys are not taking responsibility of this situation. So we were able to let them know that I think you people are picking on us, or you've just called these children to start asking them series of questions about what is going on, where they are coming from, which is actually wrong, because they have different ways of asking questions. It was later on when I read that report, I found out that they actually called this girl to start asking her questions. And children, they will definitely talk, to the extent that the child had to mention, oh, what happened back home. Everything in detail. They wrote everything. That was at that point was when I read it. But to be honest with you, it was 6 weeks of trauma. I was traumatic, because you can't imagine when you can't even be in the same space with your own child. You can't go pick your child from school. You don't even know what's going on. You don't know where, because they keep appearing in my house. They had to come to do parenting training. I had to accept, so that just to let them do whatever they do, so that I can get out of that situation. And I told the lady I was working with, they are like, she said, oh, are you scared? I said, yes, because what you people do is take people's children away. I've not come to this country for you to take my children. And she said, no, we're just working with. I said, well, because I think what helped me was because I was actually very vocal. I was saying it to their faces, like, these children that you are planning or whatever, if you have a plan or anything to say you want to take, it will not happen. No. And I was just going along with them, working with them, with the training, whatever. But they kept visiting my children and questioning them. But thank God we had to stop them. Their father was very firm and had to stop them. That he doesn't like them going questioning his children. They have to stop it. The school actually called us for a meeting when they saw that, no, these people, they are well learned and they know what they are doing. My husband sat down and said he wants to see all the report of children they've reported. How many children have you referred since this year? I want to see the statistics. Why are you referring students and parents when you've not even properly taught or let the parents know that, oh, this is a new environment you are not supposed to do this, you're supposed to do that. That rather than do that, why are you reporting all the time? My husband was very firm and asked them series of questions. He said he wants to see that person that interviewed his child. They couldn't provide the person. From there, I think that was a turning point for that school, because they now said, oh, they were inviting my husband to come and speak to parents. My husband said, no, it's not his responsibility. It's your responsibility to make sure that you call parents that are not, that are foreign parents that have children in your school, educate them on how, to interact with their children so that they are not going to fall prey, not you referring students, referring children. So that was my experience. It wasn't a fantastic experience because I had to fight to get hold and trust of my child back for over almost 9 months, because they keep, they've already implanted a lot into this girl's head before I get hold of my child. Thanks to the fact that she understands Yoruba, because I speak to her in that dialect and I let her know that these people, they're against us, not like they like you. So, Mr. Ola.
Hello.
I want to use this opportunity to thank you for what you are doing. This is a good thing, and I think it's good for anyone that just newly relocated, especially in that northeast. Northeast, I think, is rampant a lot. Northeast, Middlesbrough, especially because after our case, I remember in 2021, 2022, there were several cases, many cases of people that came and fall prey of this. But this is an avenue for everyone to know, so you can start speaking to your children and they know the do's and don'ts in the UK, So
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Through our work, through the awareness creation, through the parenting programs, we believe Middlesbrough Council have also learned some lessons, because loads of number of children have now been reduced. The workload of the social worker have also been reduced, because sometimes this social worker, their workload is strenuous as well, and they don't have time to say they want to support family or they want to understand family, they want to work with family. They would rather say, let's do the tinted glass, abuse, remove the child before the child died or before anything happened, any serious thing. You can hear about children dying under the care of their parent or this. And also, there are a lot of abuse in fostering home. Taking children into care should be the last resort. And that is why we as a community, we must stand together. Please, if you are not subscribed yet, try to subscribe now, and share. Please share like 20 times. Each of you share like 20 times. This needs to go viral. Somebody said they target children in Middlesbrough in particular because of the large number of cases in Middlesbrough. Sometimes it's a cultural issue of cultural competency, lack of understanding, and also there is what we call double standard, Afrophobia, racism, e-treatment, unequal treatment, which is against the Equality Act 2010. They're supposed to provide support to families, rather than being stereotyping that, oh, yeah, this is what we heard about people coming from this part of the world. And you can hear the question they said from that place. I forgot how the woman mentioned that now. So Let's talk about how can we do better as a community to raise a confident and successful children. I'm not sure if the madam is still there. There are a lot of bullying, there are a lot of calling names of these new children that just migrated at that point, in that particular school. In fact, when a child had a fall, they will not even record it in the report. No accidental form. However, they are ready to pick on anything from home. But when a lot of things are happening in school, they tend to cover up. The first case we had in Middlesbrough, it was a school that said a child said, "Mommy, discipline me because I messed up a room." And if you can imagine, assistant head of the teacher eventually fostered that child along with her partner. And the local authority are aware of this. The head of the school is aware. The governing board is aware. That caused me to resign from being a governor in that particular school. It's one of the reasons I had to resign and move on to another school to be another governor, because they want me to remain silent. That, oh, you need to support, or you need to cover up, you need to do this. I said, it's not acceptable. I cannot betray the community. I cannot betray the trust of my people. This is injustice. It's what we call nepotism. You can call African names. Oh, they are corrupt. They are fantastically corrupt. But how about abuse of process here? How about e-treatment here? So, family, we need to come together as a family. It's about protecting and safeguarding our own children. It takes a village to raise a child. Please know the law. Understand the policy, the procedure, the policy, the process, and the expectation in the United Kingdom. Also remember, you are not alone. Somebody said the question here, by back home, were they referring to Nigeria? Yeah, they are referring to Nigeria. Yeah. Please talk about Lambeth. We are on YouTube now. We are reading the comment on YouTube now. Please talk about Lambeth in London. Yeah, Lambeth, we are going to talk about Lambeth. We've got loads of case study from Lambeth. In fact, there's a child that was removed, and within a couple of months, that child was raped, under the care of the local authority. The trauma will be there forever. The trauma will be there forever. When you take a child because of likely harm, and that child is being exposed to harm and abuse, significant harm in care, that is not acceptable. You are not protecting the children. Many children are running away. Many children are missing from care system. And there's research that says children in care tend to die younger, and they end up in mental health. We don't pray for this. And those of you on YouTube, those of you that you are still hoping, expecting your children to be returned, we pray the Lord will intervene. Please take the cause serious. Afrocentric parenting program. Take it very serious. Yes, I'm just here to hear the story. Please don't hear the story alone. Take a lesson out of it. Speak out on time. So we wouldn't waste much of our time, and we will come back to check your comments. Please let us know which local authority you want us to talk about next. You are blessed today. We started late, but it's a blessing to you that you are able to hear from two families. This is a different, separate cases. So 2 in 1 for Middlesbrough today. So once again, we say thank you for trusting us, and we still need your support. We need your support. We need your support. We need your prayers. Keep praying for us. There are a lot of attack, even particularly to our team members, to our families. Our kids have been, denied some things due to this work we are doing. There are a lot of challenges out there. We are having being stabbed, from the back. There are a lot of betrayal, even from our community. There are a lot of betrayal from our communities. There are a lot of betrayal from our community. But that will not make us to stop doing this, what we are doing. We will continue doing this, and we need your support. It's about protecting and safeguarding our children. So once again, thank you for joining. We look forward to see you again. Thank you.